Hello, my name is Josh Borderud, and I'm the Director of Clinical and Pro Bono Programs here at Baylor Law School. This is just going to be a brief presentation, an overview of our clinical and pro bono programs that we hope you'll have a chance to get involved with during your 3 years here at the law school. The American Bar Association Model Rule 6.1 talks about voluntary pro bono publico service, usually just called pro bono service, and that every lawyer has a professional responsibility to provide legal services to those who are unable to pay, and that a lawyer should aspire to render at least 50 hours of pro bono legal services per year. We believe here at the law school that it's important that you begin this mentality and this commitment as soon as you begin law school to serving others using your time, talents, and treasure. And so we're hopeful that you will get a chance to participate in some of the programs we'll go over here today. The Texas Lawyers Creed, a mandate for professionalism, was promulgated over 30 years ago. It is a wonderfully aspirational and idealistic document that governs the professionalism, ethics, and civility of our of lawyers here in the state of Texas. And there are some great quotes, one of which is, "I am responsible to assure that all persons have access to competent representation regardless of wealth or position in life, and that I commit myself to an adequate and effective pro bono program." But if pro bono is not required by the State Bar of Texas or the American Bar Association or any other lawyer licensing agency, especially for those lawyers here in Texas, why should you do it? Like, what are the benefits of getting involved with pro bono work? And the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, said, "If you are a true professional, you will use your degree to help make things a little bit better for other people. You get satisfaction you will never get turning over a buck." So here's a few areas where I believe that pro bono is great for personal and professional reasons. For your reputation, it enhances your reputation in the bar and the community as a servant willing to take your privilege and put it to work by making the lives of others better. You can also build your network. I know I saw that from personal experience getting involved in pro bono activities in the Waco area. Get to meet other lawyers that you might not otherwise meet doing pro bono work. Can always develop new skills. It expands your legal skill set. You can take on things that are maybe outside of your expertise or your comfort zone and begin to learn new areas of the law. Finally, I think there's great kind of mental health and wellness benefits by giving of your time and serving others. It just puts you in the right mind frame and is kind of a spiritually good place to be in. Now let's talk about what the Baylor Law Pro Bono program is. It is largely a self-directed reporting program where students find opportunities and report those opportunities into a software program named Simplicity, and then hopefully are recognized for those opportunities and find those opportunities to be fulfilling. So what work is included? What do we consider pro bono? Well, we consider kind of public interest law-related work, meaning working for the government, working for prosecutors, public defenders, judicial internships, legal aid, and law-related nonprofits. At Baylor Law, that includes our clinical programs, Adoption Day, and People's Law School. And then there's another type of community service, which is not pro bono, meaning it's not law-related, but it kind of generally fits under our program. And so that would be service that's not related to the law, working for Habitat for Humanity, Meals on Wheels, Humane Society. And we'll explain how we kind of cap those hours for each of these categories. But generally, once you are past your 1Q year, once you're done with your first quarter, you can begin participating and recording your hours and getting involved in various programs. So what you'll do is you'll record your hours that you volunteer pro bono work into the program that's also used by Career Development, Simplicity. Baylor Law staff will enter your pro bono hours done here at Baylor Law, including for those in the legal clinics, adoption day, and People's Law School, other kind of law center-based volunteering. There's a pro bono tab at the top of your homepage in Simplicity where you can find where to report those hours. There is a 25-hour cap on these two following categories. If you are doing work while not enrolled in at least 5 hours of credit, so if you've taken the summer off and you're doing a bunch of pro bono, the total amount of time for your law school career that you can log towards this program are 25 hours of time when you are not at least enrolled in 5 hours of credit. And also community service hours. If you volunteered 100 hours with an animal rescue or with Meals on Wheels or something like that, that would be capped over the course of 3 years at 25 total hours. Also, work that is done for academic credit. If you have internships or externships where you're receiving academic credit, you can get credit for the hours above and beyond the externships, but not what is required by the externships. Also, if you're doing something, if you're on probation or have a disciplinary sanction that involves community service or pro bono work, that would not count towards our program. Or if you're receiving any pay or compensation for your work, that would not count towards our program. Now, if you are receiving a living stipend to go do pro bono work, that's okay. Now, the Baylor Law Pro Bono program recognizes students in their third year. So if students have achieved 50 hours of pro bono work, somewhere between 50 to 99 hours, they will be recognized as with pro bono honors, and they will receive a plaque at the ceremony, at the student award ceremony, that says that they have received pro bono honors. If you obtain 100 hours or more, you become a pro bono champion and you receive a plaque that says you are a pro bono champion. And these are designations that you can use on your resume or that you can tout publicly. And if you are able to obtain 200 pro bono hours and take 10 hours from a selected list of courses, that's pretty lengthy, you would be recognized at graduation as a public interest fellow. Right. Now, these are some pro bono opportunities that are offered during law school. The Baylor Law Legal Clinics, and we'll go into those in a little more detail. Adoption Day and People's Law School, those are all under the umbrella of Baylor Law School. Also, Greater Waco Legal Services is a hybrid legal aid and low bono or reduced fee model of a nonprofit here in Waco, where a lot of students volunteer. Working as a court-appointed special advocate or a guardian ad litem in the child protection system is another great opportunity, or working at the Family Abuse Center here in Waco. Also, the statewide Texas Access to Justice Commission has a pro bono spring break program that you might be able to take advantage of in your second or third year, possibly your first year, depending on when you come in. And pro bono summer internships as well that they set up. So the Texas Access to Justice Commission can be a great statewide resource for finding opportunities, usually outside of Waco, to spend some time at spring break or summer. What does pro bono look like in law school? This is Taisha Kimbrough, who is our 2018 graduate of Baylor Law School, and she received the Texas Access to Justice Commission's 2018 Law Student Pro Bono Award. And that was a great recognition for one of our recent grads. She worked at the Pro Bono Spring Break program with immigrants in San Antonio. She worked with the Veterans Clinic and helped staff legal advice clinics for veterans. She worked at the Estate Planning Clinic, drafting wills for veterans. She represented children in juvenile proceedings and represented an individual in court who had a traffic ticket. She also assisted through the Judge Abner McCall Inns of Court with presenting on landlord-tenant law for veteran defendants of the Fort Hood Vets Court program. So we were very proud of her, but those are some opportunities that you might have the chance to get involved with as well. And the law school has been recognized with numerous awards since 2010, and here are just a few of those. Some of these are statewide awards and some are nationwide awards. I think probably the crowning achievement was the ABA Pro Bono Publico Award from the American Bar Association in 2015. Right, let's talk a little bit about our pro bono clinics. Most of our clinical programs are set up on a pro bono basis, meaning not for course credit, the exception there being intellectual property law clinic. But our Veterans Clinic, Trial Advocacy Clinic, Estate Planning Clinic, the three programs that I manage, are all set up for a pro bono basis for those who participate. Same with Professor Hernandez's Immigration Clinic and Professor Alan Page's Entrepreneurship Clinic. If you'd like to get involved in any of those clinics, just see their faculty director for more information. The Veterans Clinic was founded in 2012 by Professor Bridget Fusilier, and to date, we've served over 2,000 veterans and their spouses, funded by the Texas Access to Justice Foundation. This clinic serves low-income veterans and their spouses in Central Texas, McLennan County, which is county seat is Waco, and its immediately adjacent counties. We offer monthly legal advice clinics for veterans and their spouses, usually one Friday a month, Friday afternoon from 2 to 5 at the Heart of Texas Veterans One Stop, which is a program of our local mental health authority serving veterans. Usually we have about 10 student volunteers and 5 attorney volunteers or so at any given legal advice clinic. Law students do the interviewing of applicants, and then lawyers advise those applicants. So the students are kind of the fact gatherers or the triage there at these clinics. Our estate planning clinic is simple estate planning for Central Texas veterans and first responders. Students get their supervised practice card, which is kind of like a learner's permit for law students, and they draft wills and serve as witnesses for the will ceremony. That's done under Professor Featherston's guidance and my supervision. To date, we've drafted over 400 wills for veterans and first responders in Central Texas. Finally, our trial advocacy clinic. This is court-appointed representation of children at their initial juvenile detention hearings, and 2L and 3L students obtain their supervised practice card under my supervision, and we appear in Zoom court. It used to be in person, but since the pandemic, it's been on Zoom. We've represented over 500 children by appointment of the court since 2017. It's been a great program for students to get comfortable talking to a judge, talking to a client, learning facts about these juvenile cases. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out directly to me. I am the director of our clinical and pro bono programs. Our legal assistant is Jill Spiegel, and follow us on the gram at Baylor Law Pro Bono. All right, looking forward to working with y'all, and welcome to Baylor Law.